Hey guys, Mr. Schultz coming at you via video. I wanted to talk to you guys about how to divide complex numbers. So far we talked about adding, subtracting, and multiplying those complex numbers, and now we've got the last piece here, dividing. This is the last piece we'll need for this next unit, so we're getting close to having that quiz. But I just wanted to kind of walk you through how we'd go through dividing complex numbers. Okay, the process here is kind of the opposite of what you would think. The word says divide, but the way we're going to solve this is we're actually going to multiply. Okay. So what I'm going to end up doing here is whatever I have on the bottom, our goal is essentially to get rid of that imaginary number on the bottom and get it to our standard form where we have, like our real number plus our imaginary number or minus. Okay. That's our goal, is to have that A plus like BI kind of format. Okay. So for us to get there, I'm going to multiply by what's called the conjugate. The other day in our notes we talked about when you multiply by a conjugate, it gets you a whole number or a real number. And that's kind of what we want to do, is get that whole number on the bottom of our fraction. Okay. So to do that, we're going to multiply both sides by what's called the conjugate of what we have on our denominator. Okay. The conjugate, again, is the exact same values. It's just going to flip whatever sign we have in our denominator. So right now I have a minus. So the conjugate is going to be 2 plus 5i. I'm going to do this on the top and the bottom. And the reason why this is possible is when I actually do this kind of piece, I'm multiplying really times 2 plus 5i divided by 2 plus 5i is really just 1. Because if I divided these two together, it would get me a whole number 1. So really I'm not changing this. There's nothing like happening that is changing the actual value of this division problem. We're going to just multiply it, so it basically gets us an easier version of what we're dealing with for our division. Okay. So here I would have 2 times 2. Again, we're going to go through like our multiplication here. So 2 times 2 gets me 4. 2 times the 5i gets me 10i. Negative 5i times 2 gets me negative 10i. Negative 5 times positive 5 gets me negative 25. And again, I've got I times I, so I get I squared. That would be what I'd have on the base, okay, on our denominator there. Okay. Then on the top, when I go through and distribute everything through, 4 times 2, 4 times 5, so 4 times 2 is our 8. 4 times our 5 gets us 20i. Then I have I times 2 and I times 5i, so I times 2 is just 2i. I times the 5i gets me 5i squared. Okay. Again, that is our multiplication. That's why we went through those pieces first, the multiplication and addition, and then now we're going to deal with our last piece, division, because it kind of pieces everything together. So if I go through, I got to simplify everything. Okay, so down below I have 10i minus 10i. Well, that's just going to cancel out. That's our goal. That's the whole reason why we multiply by the conjugate, is to get rid of that kind of middle term. Okay. Here at the end, this I squared, we talked about I is just the square root of negative 1. So if I square that, I get the actual value, negative 1. So if I say negative 25 times negative 1, it gets us plus 25. So I'm going to actually move my computer a little bit over here so that we can kind of see this piece written over here. So I'm going to scoot to this side. So on the bottom or the denominator then, I would now have 4 plus 25. Again, it's a plus because negative 25 times negative 1 gets me 25. So I have my denominator just about done. Then on the top, I can combine my i's. So I have 8. 20 plus 2 gets me 22i. And then here at the end, again, I have the I squared, which is the same as a negative 1. So 5 times negative 1 is minus 5 or negative 5. Okay. I still have just a little bit of simplifying I can do. On the denominator, I can do 4 plus 25 gets me 29. For the numerator, I can combine my whole numbers, 8 and minus 5. So I have 8 minus 5 gets me 3. So I got 3 plus 22i all over 29. If I want to get this in that exact same like standard format, which is what we are going to do, I would put this as 3 over 29 plus 22 over 29i. Notice the denominator didn't change for both of these. all I did was just put our two pieces of our numerator up above, and then I can just put the I off to the side. So I have 3 over 29 plus 22 over 29i. Okay. Our end result, or our answer, should always be in standard form. Real number, something we can actually get like an answer for, plus or minus our imaginary number. Okay. Again, hopefully this video helps. If you've got questions, continue to email me or let me know. But otherwise, I'll see you guys in just a little bit.